There are things that do not move. You've known this for a long time, not as philosophy, as experience. The thing you couldn't change no matter how clearly you saw it. The person who wouldn't become what you needed them to be. The situation that remained exactly itself regardless of how much you understood it. There are things that do not move, and there are people who cannot walk away from them. Not because they haven't noticed the door, not because they lack the intelligence to find another path, because walking away feels like something they cannot agree to. Dostoevsky described it precisely. The stone wall, not a metaphor, a structural condition, the laws of nature, the conclusions of natural science, mathematics. 2 times 2 makes 4. The underground man hated the wall not because it blocked him, because it didn't care. A locked door can be argued with. A locked door implies someone who decided to lock it, someone who could unlock it, someone who could be convinced. The wall is different. The wall has no door. The wall has no one behind it. The wall simply is. We are not going to help you get around the wall. You know where the doors are. You've known for a long time. What we're going to do is look at what you've been doing in front of the wall. Not the wall, the behavior. Because the underground man didn't spend his life looking for doors. He spent it speaking to the wall, arguing with the wall, performing for the wall, being furious at the wall, and the wall did what walls do. It does not move. Part 1, the wall. The ordinary person encounters a wall. They look at it, they assess it, they find the way around it, or they turn back. They are inconvenienced. They continue. This takes minutes, sometimes less. The underground man encounters a wall. He looks at it. He assesses it. He understands it completely. He can describe every stone. He can trace the history of its construction. He can articulate exactly why it exists and exactly why it will not move. He has more information about the wall than anyone who has simply walked past it. And then he stands in front of it, and his life continues to happen in front of the wall. Not because he can't find the door, not because he lacks the capability, because the wall offends him. And the offense requires a response that walking away cannot provide. Why does the wall offend him? Because the wall is rational. The wall follows the laws of physics. The wall obeys mathematics. The wall does what walls do without cruelty, without intention, without the slightest awareness of the person standing in front of it. 2 times 2 make 4. The wall does not make exceptions. And this cold structural indifference is the most offensive thing the underground man can imagine. Because if the world is rational, then his position in it is also rational, explainable, predictable, a variable in an equation that doesn't require his consent. He is not a person, he is a result. The wall doesn't say this. The wall doesn't say anything. That's the problem. The wall did not answer. Part 2, the silence. The worst thing the wall does is nothing. Not refuse, not oppose, not even resist, nothing. The underground man argues. The wall continues. The underground man explains exactly why the wall is unjust. The wall continues. The underground man performs his anger with great precision and accuracy. The wall continues. This is not indifference in the passive sense. This is something more specific. The wall's silence says, "You do not exist in any category that I need to account for. Your argument is not wrong. Your argument is not right. Your argument is not registered." This is the specific cruelty of rationality. It doesn't defeat you. It doesn't even notice you. The underground man expected a response. Not agreement, not surrender, a response. Because a response would mean the world had registered him. had acknowledged that he was there, that he had a position, that his consciousness occupied a space in the structure of things that the world was obligated to account for. He expected this the way you expect gravity, as a basic condition of existing. If I am here, something must know I am here. If I speak, something must hear the speaking. The wall taught him otherwise. The world is not organized around the fact of his existence. The wall was there before he arrived. The wall will be there when he leaves. His presence changed nothing about it. That is the lesson. He understood the lesson the first time it was delivered. He understood it completely, and he came back the next day and spoke to the wall again. The underground man never finished learning it. Not because he was slow, because he refused to. So he spoke to it anyway, not because he thought it would help. He knew it wouldn't help, because the alternative, accepting the silence, turning away, finding the door, going around, felt like agreeing, like confirming that the wall was right, that the rational structure of the world was correct, that his position in it was accurately described by the equation. The speaking was not hope. The speaking was refusal. I will not accept that this is the whole picture. I will not concede that 2 times 2 is 4 and that is all. I will speak to the wall, even if the wall does not answer, especially then. Not to break it. Part 3, the forehead. The underground man does not want to destroy the wall. That is the misreading. If he wanted to destroy it, he would find tools. He would find help. He would work systematically at its foundations. He doesn't do any of this. He stands in front of it and beats his head against it. The forehead, not the hand, not the fist. The forehead, the most exposed part, the part that registers contact as pain, the part that bleeds. He chooses the place where stone meets skin with the maximum amount of himself in it. Not to break through, not from despair. As a statement, I am here. I am the kind of thing that can hurt. I am the kind of thing that chooses where to apply its pain. The wall does not care. The wall has never cared. The wall will not care after the impact. But the impact happened. He chose it. That choosing is the only freedom the wall cannot take from him. This connects to everything before it. The loop that replaces action, the loop runs in front of the wall. The spite that proves freedom, the spite is aimed at the wall. The performance of suffering, I perform for the wall, to the wall, because the wall is the only audience that will never leave. The wall has been there through all of it. Every analysis, every act of self-destruction, every carefully staged grief. The wall watched. The wall said nothing. The wall continued, and the underground man continued too. Not winning, not losing, present, in front of the wall, choosing to be in front of the wall, as if presence in the face of indifference were its own form of answer. The wall never moved. In 40 years of underground life, in all the analysis and spite and performed suffering and arguments with the silence, the wall never moved. The underground man knew it wouldn't. He knew where the door was. That's what makes this difficult. He wasn't waiting for the wall to move. He was refusing to pretend it wasn't there, refusing to take the door, refusing to find the way around, refusing the comfortable option of a life lived as though walls don't exist. They exist, they don't move. And he was going to stand in front of them and know it, for as long as it took, for as long as there was a him to stand there. You have a wall too. You've been standing in front of it for longer than you want to admit. Not the same wall, but the same structure. The thing that does not move, the thing that doesn't answer, the thing that continues regardless of what you bring to it. And you know the door is somewhere. You've always known. But the door feels like agreeing that the wall is right, that rationality is the whole picture, that your position in the world is accurately described by what the world is willing to give you. So you stay in front of the wall, not because you think you'll win, because leaving would mean the wall was the last word. The underground man never resolved this. He wrote it down. He described every stone. He articulated the injustice with total precision, and then he went back to the wall. This is not a failure. This is the underground man's specific form of integrity. He would not pretend the wall wasn't there. He would not accept that what doesn't move has nothing to say about him. Not here, not in a video. In the next moment, you find yourself in front of something that doesn't answer. Notice what you do next. The wall never answered. You spoke to it for years. That wasn't the point.